I'd be lying if I was to tell you that I'm not insecure about anything. I try to play it off like I'm nonchalant about most things, or I don't care, but that I'm confident. But there's definitely things about me that I try to hide, and things about myself that I am insecure. One of those things are my scars. I actually have a lot of scars on my body, one on my arm, another big one on my chest. I even got this zit scar on my face right now. There. So one major thing that I've been insecure about for my whole life is this huge scar that I have on my chest. And just letting you know, it's a little graphic, so but just to show you, with this scar, I feel like I can relate to women in a way, because when I go swimming, when I pass by people, they look at me, but then right when they see me, they look down at my chest and they just stare at it. And I can see their eye contact straight looking at my chest. And I feel like, well, I guess that's how women feel at times. So with these scars, I definitely try to hide them. Like, I don't want people to see the scar on my arm. I don't want people to see the scar on my chest. So I don't wear, deep V-necks. Rarely do I go around with my shirt off. When I'm swimming, I'm always cognizant of it and wondering what people think, as much as I try not to. And on top of that, I'm bald. I don't have a receding hairline, but in the back of my head, because of surgeries, I got these huge bald spots on the back of my head. And I get my wife to cut my hair so that my hair covers the bald spots on the back of my head, so that people don't see it. And those are only aspects how I feel insecure about how I look. But even when you think about ability and how I am insecure about how I perform or my success, as someone who preaches and speaks at things and leads that way, I often see different leaders and pastors and speakers and the way they have great diction and they change their voice a ton, or they're not as monotone as me as I feel. Maybe they're more dynamic. Sometimes I think, why can't I be more like that? Why don't I do that more, even? So sometimes I see these people and I feel insecure about my own ability and who I am and what I can do, And what's interesting is, though I've met many successful people, very rich men and women, very beautiful women, very good-looking men, and their success and their beauty does not take away their insecurities. Even if you reach some type of high standard, you get congratulated, you reach the pinnacle of what can be achieved, insecurities don't go away. In fact, I have found that some of the most beautiful people, the most successful people, are some of the most insecure people at times. Just shows you that success doesn't take away your insecurity. Because anything that you put your worth in, anything that you place of high importance can be taken away in a day. And everything in this world is just temporary. And I found that having your security in something that is eternal, or someone who is eternal, is the only way that it can help you with the things that you're insecure about. Because you always will be insecure about certain things about yourself, about your life, about your accomplishments, or about your work or your house, all these different things. When you put your security in someone who is eternal, someone who is perfect, and being Jesus Christ, then all your insecurities just become so much smaller, and the weight of them becomes so much lighter. So yeah, you still might be insecure about your looks, about your abilities, but it's okay, because you are so secure in Jesus. If Jesus says that he loves me, why even bother chasing the love of everyone else, or even my own self-love, my own opinion of myself? I can be a bit insecure about my scars or my abilities or my looks, because those things don't matter to him. If they don't matter to him, they shouldn't matter to me. And so I become more secure in the way that he thinks of me, than I think of myself. And I become more secure in Him than I am of myself. Thankfully, God has entered my life and has really shown me the things to care about and the things not to care about. I know that if I wasn't following Jesus, I would be the most vain person, and I would care so much more about my possessions, my car, my house, my clothes. But by God's grace, He is changing my heart, and He has changed my heart. When I was younger, I used to really like Philippians 4:13, where it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I believe that's true. But what's been resonating with me more as I've gotten older is 2 Corinthians 12:9, where it talks about His strength being sufficient for me in my weakness. So I will boast all the more about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest upon me. And this is the posture that we can take so that we can be okay with our insecurities, with our weakness.